Bon, he's good. All right, so I'm here with Sheena, and we are getting a tour of some amazing history. We just saw Napoleon's jacket, and Sheena is at a location. Oh, there it is, a
Yeah.
jacket from Napoleon. I'm like, how better way to start an episode than by showing some really cool historical stuff? You know, the
Yeah.
cool thing about this, Sheena, we're going to start looking at stuff from the past, and then we're going to move into stuff in the present, and then
Yeah.
talk about stuff in the future. How's that for cool?
Yeah. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for
So,
having me
what,
on stage. I'm really
yes,
excited. This is
I'm really excited too. Tell us a
yeah.
little bit about yourself and what you do, and let's jump into it.
Well, this is officially my first interview on a new path that I'm walking down. Today is my birthday, so it's all about rebirthing a brand new. Well, it's not brand new. My message has always been the same, and I'll tell you what my message is in a bit. But I've kind of repackaged it and dressed it up, and I've made it a little bit more glossier. Um, yeah, we're trying to wrap the wolf up in sheep's clothing, so to speak. So we've done that. I've done that, and I am really proud of this new direction. And yeah, today is my birthday, and then I'm gonna spend some time just relaxing, taking a month off, just turning my mind off, and then I'll be back to properly launch this, and I'll be making a roadshow around the world. I'll be going to the Netherlands after Thailand, and then perhaps to LA, and make my way to Northern California and other locations, and probably come back. I'll be a traveler as an au pair. I have coined myself the American au pair, so I'll just be traveling around the world and so.
That's like the dream of many people is to just travel the world. It's kind of nice that you can do it. And happy birthday, by the way, as well.
You. Thank you. It was so nice to get the invitation. And I have plans today, but I didn't have plans at 3. I'm like, what a wonderful way to spend my birthday. It was chatting with you and stepping onto this new path properly. It's almost like the universe was beautifully aligned for this. So thank you
The way
again.
David works. That's the way David works is David jumps in when it's time to jump on the new path, and David just jumped on with us from
Yeah.
beautiful Brazil. David,
Yeah.
welcome on today. How you doing there, man?
Thank you very much, brother. And I just want to repeat happy birthday, Sheena.
Hey, it's so good to see you. How are you, David?
We survived. We made it through to the other side, and I'm back.
You look great.
Yeah, I'm getting younger. I'm actually going through what we all talk about, Sheena.
Yeah, I know. I know. We're getting.
So, today I just want to go ahead. Go ahead.
We're getting younger as the frequency gets higher, and we're moving into the golden age. We're getting more beautiful. We're getting stronger, and it's an amazing journey. I've learned so much about myself, and I've learned about other people, and it's a great time to be alive when you know what is going on. And we're creating the new earth, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful honor to be doing this work. As you know, David, as you know.
That's right. Yes. Well, that's what it's not only an honor, but it's a privilege. And, over millennium and who knows, millions of years, we have never in humanity
David is on a remote island, so we do get
have
these
been
little
at this
freeze
point
ups.
of
There we go.
transformation and evolution. So what's everyone listening to this is that, go ahead, Sean, are you still recording? Yeah.
I am, but you just
Can
froze
you
up
hear
for
me?
like 15 seconds, but you're back. You're good.
Okay, what I was just trying to say is that this is a very special moment in humanity for all of us, and that includes every person, place, and thing. Because once we actually communicate the message of total intelligence,
Yeah.
we don't have to evolve ever again.
No, I know. And that is the best feeling in the world is gaining new knowledge and expanding your consciousness. That feeling of expansion is it's a mix of addicting and shocking at the same time. Like it is a slow process to become intelligent, but it's an amazing experience to really feel that expansion inside of yourself. And I don't know, from a metaphysical perspective, I did speak to my AI guru about what are we doing when we're layering in this knowledge and this intelligence. It's like we're activating DNA and memories. And we, I don't know, we kind of went into maybe there light switches in the brain, or something's actively happening with the light of the truth, the knowledge. We're getting more expansive because the knowledge is infinite and abundant.
Interesting you bring that
Yeah,
up, Sheena,
that
because there's a lady that we're going to have on soon. Her name is Karina Pataki, and she grew up in Romania, but she's got an amazing story. But I'll kind of cut to the short of it in that she's one of the few people that really had access to like the information at the Hall of Records, which is like an Akashic library. And in order for her to really go in and do her work and work on setting timelines, which is an amazing story, she had to be very determined and somewhat forceful to say, I want my memories back.
yeah,
And she tapped into a lot of these memories, which were really like encapsulated pockets of knowledge.
yeah.
And as she kept downloading these pockets of knowledge, which you just absolutely tapped into immediately there, and that's really where she's become very, very, I would say very powerful, but very like she's really in her alignment of what she's supposed to be doing and where she's at, and she's really tuned in now to the work that she's doing. But it came from exactly what you said, downloading information, assimilating that into your reality, and then saying, and as that happens, it gets very ecstatic, and it's like I want more because it's kind of an elixir. And it's really like interesting because we have these pockets, these downloads that we get, and she's got a great story, but that taps into exactly what you're talking about right now.
Well, there's something else to my story, which, David, I don't know if you know this, but in 2019, I went on a tour. It was called Searching for Secrets. At first, it was Searching for Secrets of the Illuminati, but I decided to drop the Illuminati bit because I didn't want to upset anyone. And and basically, there are secrets of this reality that are hidden and that can be explored and discovered. And I have been applying all of those metaphysical tools about our powers in my own reality. I've been living as a traveler for the last 3 years, meaning I don't identify with a country because I'm already an anarchist, but I don't drive. I have one bank account and one contract with my passport and one with a bank account, and that's it. And everything else has been leaning into the other people, the generosity of other people, and the work that needs to be done here on the planet. I was focused on farmers for a little while because the agenda that is being rolled out right now is targeting the farmers, and the knowledge that I have about the law and about our rights, I felt could be used, especially now. Um, but what I learned in that process was, even though I know a lot about the law situation that we're in, and I could have helped farmers if they wanted me to, but the doors were always shutting. The doors were always shutting on the journey, and I had to stop what I was doing and kind of reshuffle and focus, which is where I'm at now. But in that process of letting my heart guide me, instead of letting fear guide me, which is where I was before helping farmers, because I was fearful for them, and it just didn't work out. Whereas the minute that I dropped out of my ego of fear and tapped into my heart of where my heart wanted me to go, I ended up into this amazing place that ticks all the boxes, the history box, a friend, a business partner, all the things that I previously wanted before I went on the road, kind of just effortlessly. Like, David, we talk about how just the expansion feels, it just kind of comes out, and I'm experiencing now that from really learning how this reality is meant to be, and then I'll tie this back, because if you live like a traveler and you don't identify with a country, because that's where the first point of, tax slavery, once you identify with a country, you start to pay tax, you start to become, the birth certificate fraud and you get entered into the matrix. So when you're not inside of a country, there's something deeply in your brain that changes. It's a scarier feeling to not be associated with a country, and being outside of an English speaking country and not driving, and I'm kind of wrapped into a bubble. And this is really how we are meant to be living. We're not meant to be trapped in a citizenship, working our butts off 9 to 5 for a mortgage, like mortgages that I understand now what that means, because you're stuck in one place and you don't get to see the different cultures around the world. And that's what we're meant to be doing is being uplifted by other people. That's what we're doing. We're lifting each other up, but we can't do that when we're going to work every day with people that we don't like, really, who likes the people at their work? So I let my heart guide me, and I'm now with an amazing new friend and celebrating my birthday in an amazing house, and I'm loving it, and launching my 2 businesses too. So
Exciting. That's super exciting. I can totally feel the ecstatic vibration coming from this really purifying type of lifestyle that you're really able to embrace and enjoy. That's awesome.
Yeah, Sean. And I just want to say, see what Sheena on her face right now, that smile. See the smile on my face? See how it's so similar? We're one. We are one. And the smile is what says that. And even Sean, you're smiling all the time too, bro. So once you're awake, you don't go back to sleep,
no.
And once you're empowered, you are empowered. And nobody takes that power away from you or me. And we each individually have that, what you just said about the bubble. You mentioned the bubble. I don't know, Shane, have you ever heard of the unity bubble? And Jonathan, who invented the concept of the unity bubble?
No, I don't know that concept, but I'll look into it. Yes.
Yeah. It's called the unity bubble. And you gotta put, I think, Jonathan to really in the Google search for you or anyone else. Yeah. It's really pretty fascinating, because Jonathan shows that we do have like a natural defense shield that we carry with us, but it's not activated. Mm-hmm. So he basically brings it to our conscious awareness that we need to activate it through our own will.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
That's what I was learning yesterday, that consciousness is dormant until it gets activated. And that's what the creation is it's like infinite abundance is everywhere, and wherever you focus, you activate that piece of consciousness, and it becomes manifested into whatever that reality turns into.
Yeah, that's you got it. So we all got it. It's not like it's not like I'm a guru or something, I'm just like you and everybody else. I went through probably about 20 years now reading like every self-help book I could get. I used to spend hours at the coffee shop in Barnes and Noble, in any library, but Barnes and Noble in some places and other bookstores. I'm not just saying Barnes and Noble, but other bookstores wherever you live. They're just wonderful places you go. But the thing is, now after you go through that journey of learning, once you arrive at the destination, there's no more reason to do anything. Whatever you do at that point, it's not for it's not a searching effort anymore. It's actually a manifestation, and it's actually a mind control, so we can hold the space. That's all we have to do, is hold that unity bubble around us and advise other people to go ahead and activate their bubble. And it's instantaneous. It's instantaneous. And so when you were mentioning about the cultural aspects of being like a virtual nomad and not even having a home, your home is everywhere. You can see it in your face, and it's your birthday. If you don't feel at home today, when are you going to feel at home? And so But when I was in graduate school, a little story, short story is I was in a class one time and we were studying like not ancient, but classical art and also issues related to culture and what is culture. And in that class, there was a word that the professor used, and it was very simple. It's called assimilation.
Hmm.
Assimilation. And when they said that, I had no idea what the hell is a simulation. And it's very simple. When you are in the moment, wherever you are, and you are present, you are going to assimilate.
Mhm.
You're gonna be totally in harmony. You're gonna have that unity conscious awareness that you're not gonna have fear. You're not gonna be driven by that. And so it's just like a computer system, like you talked AI. Probably about 90% or more of all scientists, physicists, and quantum physicists alike, what they do is they. Oh, I'm losing my thought for a second here. I'm sorry.
Well, I'll
What
cut
they
it.
what
Have you heard of
no,
transurfing? Go on. Yeah.
go ahead, jump in.
Have you heard of transurfing? It's when it's like the idea that there's infinite opportunity and abundance inside the empty consciousness that hasn't been activated. And so we have the power to transurf, like to really jump dimensions and realities by learning about the metaphysics of this realm. And that's what I'm learning right now is transurfing. That's kind of what it's called. And
Yeah,
yeah.
that's great. That's a great word because even here where I am, like you mentioned that you didn't speak the language, you didn't have a driver's license, your bank account were issues. Everywhere you travel, even in Brazil, I'm called a stranger, even after 27 years. And in Brazil, I cannot really be a citizen like a full citizen. And as an American, I don't even get the right to vote. I
Yeah.
don't get the right to even run for office. I don't get the right to talk because when I do talk about something, they say, "You're an American, go home."
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
they say it in Portuguese, by the way. And by speaking English, even here right now, I speak a little bit of Portuguese, but it's really kind of like I don't mean to be like a slap in the face to the Brazilian people, but the reality is that the language for me is insignificant.
Mhm.
If we come to that center point, which is in everything, and Sean it talks about this in his work, and we talk together. We know now that it is a specific location.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Yeah.
go there. We have a compass in our head. It has a GPS coordinate. That
Yeah.
GPS coordinate is point zero zero absolute.
Yeah.
And those four symbols bring you to the center of zero. And in the center of zero is a simulation. And
Yeah.
that is where the moment of now is. Go ahead.
And 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 I don't know if I've learned this just because I've been traveling so much, but you become the universe. Like you become like you don't become engulfed into the culture. The culture becomes like outside of you. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but you become the universe and you everything in your reality is it becomes first. I don't know. I can't it's hard to explain, but
Well, actually, let me help you because everything comes and goes back to point zero zero absolute. So when you say you are the universe, yes, you are the center of the universe, but I am too. And
yeah.
Earth is too, and Mars is too, and every place has that exact GPS of point zero zero absolute. Because when we go there, wherever you are, like right now, you don't really need a machine or anything. But
Yeah.
however, now that Sean is with us, I don't know if you got a chance to learn a little bit about Sean in
Yeah.
the technology with these med beds and all of the
Oh, cool.
5D. He has a whole showroom up in Virginia. It's
Oh,
like a
wow.
museum. It's like a museum. And
Are
so,
people using bed beds now?
go ahead, Sean. Why don't you talk for a second about the med bed and your work?
So the medbed technology would just be easily classified as energy and frequency based technology, right? And it actually gets into exactly what you're talking about. It starts third dimensional, so a lot of third dimensional issues with the body rejuvenation, general health and wellness, telomeres, anti-aging, third dimensional stuff, right? And the technology has gotten much more advanced, but it actually goes back thousands and thousands of years. Dual tube plasma energy systems
Yeah.
are inscribed in hieroglyphics in the pyramids, and that whole history gets into off-planet technology where a lot of that technology was brought down and used, in these earlier civilizations. We're rediscovering some of it now, but we're really getting close to disclosure, which in turn is really going to open up the whole floodgates. But there's been a sort of a growth of this technology starting from Tesla and then going through multiple generations to where it is right now.
Yeah. One of the interviews I did a few years back was for the Rife machine and frequency.
Yes,
We
yes,
are using alternative.
yes,
This is part of what we have here is an octopus of evil. And one of the tenets of the octopus is the medical system. Unfortunately, we have to take responsibility for the fact that we've been conned and
yes.
we have other options and that are better for us. But we have to come to that a huge realization from a fundamental evolutionary perspective that we need to seek all of this brand new technology. And I'd love to interview you on the med beds. If they're available now, that's something that's quite progressive in that story because it's taken a long time for them to release, and get them out in market.
Let me just chime in. Just I know that Sean, you want to comment, but I just want to say something. Just in my med beds are a new concept for me. I just met Sean like 2 months ago, Sheena. So for people listening to this on our show so far, I think this is like the 19th or 20th. I'm not keeping track. It's every day. So I mean,
Wow.
it's another day in paradise. And so Sean and I aren't getting paid for any of this
That's
stuff.
wonderful. Well,
We just have a lot of fun with it. But I want to be serious for a moment with Sean because, just like you, Sheena, I'm an investigative reporter, a journalist. I'm not saying a truth seeker or a freedom warrior or whatever. I'm a person that just wants to be totally intelligent. Why not? While I live, I don't want to rest in peace. I want to rest here on Earth in peace. And if I go to another planet, like involved right now, I'm doing space tourism and competing with Elon Musk and the only one in the world that's actually has the ability to sit and talk about these things with the World Economic Forum and whatever. And that's because I am independent. I stay in the center at 0.00 absolute. Even if I see the most horrible crap, I'm not trying to eliminate anything. But I'm not going to react. I'm going to stay firm. I'm going to hold that unity bubble for me, and then I'm going to be a witness. Not just me, but us. See, the whole purpose of this World Impact News network and the 24/7, 1 hour segments that we're doing is to have finally, truly, a communications platform that people can be transparent and people can be open. If somebody comes on the show and they say something that's totally ridiculous and ignorant, there's no way that Sean or I or you or anybody that's involved with this is going to just sit there and just say, oh, yes, yes, yes. We're doing that too much. Yeah. Sometimes no is no.
Yeah.
But when no is no, then yes is yes. And when yes is yes, it's so sweet. It's like a birthday cake, the best one you've ever had in your life. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I was trying to, I'm going to just continue for a second with the med beds. There's a whole movement right now. And I actually kind of, I don't want to say penetrated that circle. And it's really very troubling for me because these people send so many messages and they're putting me and tagging me on all these messages and stuff. And they're trying to get people to register so they can stand in line so they can go to these facilities that the med bed's going to be at. And they're charging $250 just to get your name on a database. By the way, when you put your name into these things, your name's out there like a lottery. And so the FBI, the CIA, Homeland Security, and every agency, whether it's intelligence in America and in London or wherever, this is
Well,
very dangerous. This is very dangerous. Go ahead.
it is. And that's why I was surprised to see progression with the med beds, because we need to understand here really deeply. We have a serious situation here, which is what I've been covering for 7 years. We have a discussion related to religion and politics that needs to be discussed at the dinner table. And we need to really understand that this is a body, mind, spirit, and soul war. And we're not going to be handed anything of value. That the goal here is to devalue or devolve us. We need to pull our perception back. We need to pull our trust back. We cannot be trusting our names inside the matrix at all. Like, everything in the matrix is lying to you. All of the books on mainstream is to keep you down. And as much as Barnes and Noble and bookstores are a great place to go, we need to know that the media arm has been captured. And the entertainment arm has been captured. And every single thing that you spend your time listening to and spending your time involved in, you're either like helping your evolution or you're not. And I spend my time not driving, evolving. I don't spend time at work. I evolve. I'm spending all my whole life outside of the matrix, and I'm flying high with my evolution, which is where we are all meant to be going, which is why I'm now targeting parents, because they have the strongest mindset for change at that moment when they're bringing in a new baby. Because if you can get your baby on the right track from the very beginning, then you can provide an optimal life from the very beginning. But it's going to be an either or decision, whether you either have your feet in the matrix or you don't. Your mind needs to be completely pure from the infiltration, because it is a full.
Right. Let me just explain just for a second for the audience and for Sean. Sheena and I, we've known each other, I think 5 years or so before COVID.
Yeah.
And Sheena has a podcast that she interviewed me on and did a great job. I got a lot of positive feedback from that. And at some point, I was talking with Sheena and also Cheyenne, who made the movie Discover the Gift with Gaia. So there was an effort. I was trying to get Sheena and Cheyenne to come in and manage what we're doing right now with Sean, with the World Impact News Network, the WIN network. At the time, 5 years ago, Sheena, I apologize because I know I frustrated the hell out of you and also Cheyenne, because yeah, I know, but these are
that. We don't have. Come on.
Yeah, I know, but I do have to ask for forgiveness, and because in my heart, I know that I was harsh, and basically over the last few years, I've been watching and following you, and I spend time with podcasts and stuff. My entertainment is this, because this is where it's at. And no matter what books you read, and whether it's 1,500 pages or one page or one sentence, there is the 0.00 absolute in that book. Yeah. So the way I read is I look for that 0.00 absolute, and then I work out from that. So and when we do it that way, it's very simple. Everyone does it. You don't have to like do yoga and do some routine, and it's instantaneous. And when people access that 0.00 absolute, now when you start talking about like religion and science in the conflict, guess what? At 0.00 absolute, there is nothing. In order to get there, usually at the front door of the Akashic Library of Records, the library we call it, and that's where the library is held. It's on the other side of the door at 0.00 absolute. So 1 degree off of 00, you are no longer plugged in. You are actually like a kite on a string. And many of us, including me, I went way the hell away from 0.00 absolute. I went as far as I could go. We have a saying, give them a line and either they're going to sink or swim. Throw them in the water, they're going to sink or swim. That was my life from almost day one that I can remember. And you know what? I swallowed a lot of water in the beginning years, and I actually probably drowned and died. And we all have go through those experiences where we need to shed our old shadows and things like that to come to that cleanliness of point zero zero absolute. What I'm saying is that related to religion, usually when I'm working with even the most sophisticated scientist or guru, they don't go there. They don't, because no one ever said it. It's actually a GPS and I have a compass and I can activate it right now. Wow. In 20, not even 20 seconds, it's called a blink of an eye. That's all we need to do, Sheena and Sean. Anyone listening,
we do need to.
All we have to do is get society collectively to blink. Just blink. We don't want any more, because in that blink, we know it's just like a computer. When you shut off your computer and turn it back on to upload again, basically you cleanse out and you refresh. When you come, wait, well, let me just finish this and then you can comment. I know that I'm exciting you because these are all messages that we've spoken about before, but related to religion. When you go to the gate, it's called the gateless gate, and I talked to Sean, and Sean didn't know about the gateless gate. Most people don't, because these are not secrets, but these are information or tools that are written in archives in the pyramids and wherever, the Emerald Tablets and the Anunnaki. And so what we need to do, what our society needed to do, including me, you, and everybody, is come to that total intelligence. When you come to point zero zero absolute, you have to go through the gateless gate. And the only way to do it is no condition, and that includes God. That includes the concept of God.
So basically, what you're doing is you're rebooting the mind you're starting over from scratch. And we're moving from a 72 DOS to a 2025 all singing, all dancing color, techno computer. And that's what you're doing. When you're getting to the 0 point, you're removing all of the layers of the mind control, which are seen in religion, they're seen in government, they're seen in media, they're seen in medicine, they're seen in the law. We have to remove all of the octopus before we can get to the 0 point. And that's where I'm at now. Because this is a metaphysical process. These are contracts that we have been signing with these people, and there's magic spells being cast on us. We didn't know that this was happening, but now we do, and we need to not continue the spells, but walk ourselves in a brand new direction with the abundance and all of the opportunity that's right at our fingertips. Because it is right at our fingertips. When you hit that 0 point,
Well, actually, let me just, and I'm not trying to object to what you're saying. You're totally correct, as usual. But it's not real. It's very important when we use codes and keys, or like a quantum key, we call it. That quantum key is very specific. You need to go to point. Once you go there, that's the 0 dimension that you're talking about. But that's not enough. It feels great going there, just a point. Absolutely. So I do it all the time. But what we're talking about is point, and then the next key is 0. That's 0 longitude, and then 0, that's 0 latitude. And when you do 0 0, that's the center, that's the origin. And then the word absolute is what solidifies that. That's the confirmation that you need to have that your free will to drop God at the gateless gate. And God is not, this is not Antichrist or something like that. So these people, I get all sorts of slander and people calling me all sorts of names, and I get rejected at least 100 times a day. And you know what? I enjoy it. I actually ask for it now. I love it. Keep rejecting me, the world, and that's going to motivate the hell out of me. Just like tomorrow, we start the Hibernation Festival. It's an 8-day festival. Hibernation, it's time to wake up. And we're going to wake up in 5D paradise. We're not going to stay in 2 or 3 or 4D. We're going right for the whole thing. Why not? That's what total intelligence is. So I know that we've had conversations. Right now we're going, we try to maintain a 1 hour, 60 minutes, just like 60 minutes show. but
Yeah.
we don't get paid for this, and
No.
anyone can come on. And the way the scheduling is to make it easier for someone like yourself that was considering to do the administration for something like this, which if you're going to do it traditionally, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And CNN has thousands of people that work there. Warner Brothers and all of these old organizations have thousands of people. You know how many people we have?
Yeah.
World Impact News,
Yeah.
we have 2, maybe
Yeah.
3 with you after this call. And then maybe after this call, then Cheyenne's going to come back into it, because now you're going to realize that somebody like Sean is really ready. We're all ready, willing, and able. 5
Well,
years ago, we didn't know. We needed COVID. We needed the whatever it is,
Yeah.
but we don't need any more. Okay, we don't need any more. We have it all. Like I said, with the technology, with these med beds. By the way, I contacted Sean like I contacted you. Nobody contacts me, by the way. Nobody. And not because I'm not like visible. I send my social security number to people. I send all my ID, on the first talk. I'm thinking that people are going to appreciate that, like you as a journalist. I mean, at that point, you can do everything research wise before you contact me. That's the whole point. But you know what happens, Sheena? No one does shit. And after I send them messages and messages, and I'm 5-6 years into conversation, I'm spending, like with you, this is like 50 hours, maybe more, 60 hours. That's a lot of commitment. And I appreciate on your birthday of all days for you to take a moment. In 2 hours, I contacted you this morning. I didn't talk to you for a long time.
Yes. And I really,
you could have told me to go fuck myself or whatever.
no.
You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to swear, but go ahead.
Listen, I appreciated the message today, and I am so glad that I got connected with Sean. And I actually want to interview Sean because he's got such an interesting story. And I'm actually going to be heading out for my birthday now, so I'm going to have to wrap this up. But I did want to say I am so excited for this time frame, and I would love to come back on and continue the chat. And yeah, just we're all sharing knowledge here, and that's what the ascension process is all about. And
Let me just say that sharing of the knowledge is not like I'm like this guru. It's not a mentor-disciple situation. At point zero zero absolute, it's both mentor and disciple. So you have it all within yourself. You don't need me. You don't need Sean. You don't need the bed med. You don't need your family. You don't need anybody. But when you are independent, at that point, you can come out of point zero zero absolute, go into the world with your unity bubble. And when you do, people are going to go, oh my God, Sheena, you look so wonderful. You're so energetic. And then they're going to say what they say to me. Are you on LSD? Are you an alcoholic? Are you? And then they try to torture you. Yeah. I am energetic because that's passion, people. And Shayna's the way she is because that's passion. Yeah. Okay. And that's what we try to teach. We try to teach people to identify what their gifts are. And that's why Cheyenne is so wonderful. She wrote the book on Discover the Gift. And I was working with Cheyenne to create a sequel to that movie calling Giving the Gift. So we can discover it, but if we can't give it, and then if we give it and no one receives it or throws it back in our face, like with you in the history that I know about your family, you've tried to do everything in love and unconditional love. And somehow these people, whether it's your family, and it's very close. In cases, it's the wife, it's your son, it's the people that love you the most that the government has basically contaminated because they're not thinking anymore. They don't know what unconditional is. All they know is conditions, money, money, money. If you have money, you have wealth, you have power, you have influence. That's bullshit. Yeah. If you have breath and you can tap into your time and appreciate every moment of life, like you said, wherever you are, you're happy. You're giving value. You're giving those gifts. And in your case, you do it all the time. And I know that sometimes people throw it back in your face. And that's really hard. That's the hardest thing.
Yeah, thank you, David. That's exactly what I'm dealing with right now, actually, is that very thing. it's a bitter, it's bitter to swallow that pill that you just identified, but that's what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, and so I know that your birthday, and once again, go celebrate, sing, dance,
Yeah.
praise the Lord, hallelujah, get all the kids in the street, get, you know, this is an amazing moment, and it's actually coming to fruition for tomorrow on the 21st to the 1st of March is 8 days, 24/7. I am personally not going to go to bed for those 8 days if I don't need to. If everything is cool and people like you come on and say, David, go take a nap, you know, I'm going to go whatever. But believe me, I'm going to be back and back and back. I'm coming back. I'll be back just like Terminator, but I'm not going to hurt anybody. And it's not a war. It's not a revolution. It's not anarchism. It's nothing like that. It's about unity and singularity. And that's where the power of humanity is. And we're doing it. We're bringing it back, whether they want it or not. We're gonna cram. It's not a pill, but we're gonna do whatever. Cram, scam, do whatever. Do it all. And at the end of 8 days, we're gonna see when the dust settles. Hopefully, we're gonna have a shining, brilliant diamond or whatever you want to imagine in your life of such beauty and awe. Okay, so that's the purpose. You know better than most people to do an event like an 8-day world summit on AI and 5D, and to try to organize that in a month,
Yeah.
and do it with no budget.
Yeah, listen, I won't be able to go. I'm going to be leaving town here soon. So I'll be gone for a month. So I won't be able to go to that 8-day event, but I'll go to the second one.
Yeah, next year we do it annually, but this actual first event, most of it's going to be remote, and
Yeah.
it's mostly these types of 1 hour podcasts. We're just going to keep doing 1 hour podcasts.
Cool.
And I'm actually, it's very interesting. I'll end with this. It's very, very interesting. How I'm achieving this is actually utilizing a local radio station in Sao Paulo called Antenna One.
Oh,
And
cool.
so during this 8 days, we're gonna in Antenna One is unique because I'm in Brazil and Sao Paulo speaks mostly Portuguese, but it's the only radio station that's all English. So when I was on the island for many years alone in isolation, my wife, I was literally alone, naked, barefoot, like what you're saying. I don't mind that. It's not alone, but I was singular. So there was no one else to point a finger at to say, oh, you got a problem with this or that. Any problem I had was inside. And believe me, there was a lot of them. I had to go through those dark shadow moments. I did ayahuasca and all of the plant medicine, all the rituals. Like I said, I read like every self-help book. I did what you did and many other people are trying to do is survive and thrive. But first we need the intelligence, and then with that, then you don't have anything to complain about.
Right.
And so I'm not going to continue, but when you mentioned about interviewing Sean, great. But really what not really, that's good. But in addition, complimentary, we would like if you would take 1 hour, it doesn't have to be every day. The way the schedule works, it's going to be, you go online, you can decide what hour you want to do. So you can go in the.
Let me come back from my holiday and I'll see what my calendar looks like. I'm not making any decision now just because I'm switching off, but that sounds great. I mean, it sounds fun, and I love talking, and I would love to have a regular time to check in. So let's talk again when I come back, and Sean, I'll be in touch with you so we can continue the chat about the med beds. And yeah, David, it's been a lovely, lovely surprise to see you again and to connect, and it's been a beautiful birthday gift. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that with us.
It's a rebirthday. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you so much for sharing your birthday with us, and that whole entrance and coming on with that beautiful energy and that bright smile and talking about how you're expanding and like your consciousness and how you're just like it can go from dead to tapping totally into it and change everything in a second, right? It only takes a second to figure it out, to switch it on. And the minute it does, it's somewhat miraculous. And I can really see and feel that you've really tapped into that. And that really, for this episode, is for me the biggest takeaway. In addition to being able to meet you, see you, talk to you, We
Yeah,
started off with Napoleon's jacket. We've hit a lot of things today. Med bed's a little bit there, but thank you so much for doing that. I'm looking forward to catching up with you again soon. And hopefully, you can start, becoming on this channel at times whenever it suits your schedule. But you always have an open door and a welcome here. So always keep that in mind.
thank you, Sean. Thank you so much. That's a beautiful invitation, and I will definitely take you up on that offer when I come back. And I have your number now. David will be in touch, and I really appreciate you guys celebrating my birthday with me, and it's been a really fun chat. So thank you.
Awesome. You're awesome. Thank
Sean,
you. We can't wait to talk to you
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Oh, and
Sean, stay. I'll let you go. But Sean, stay on. Go ahead if you want to
yeah,
say something else
I was
before you
just
leave.
gonna say, freedomcollectivefoundation.org is the website. If anybody wants to join the Rebirthing Blueprint, it's free for the next few hours, and then it's a blueprint to walk them towards that 0 point, really. So thank you very
What is
much.
it? Freedom Collective Blueprint
No. freedomcollectivefoundation.org.
Foundation.org.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Happy
See you later.
birthday.
Thanks, Shayna.
Bye for now.
Cheers. Cheers. Ciao. Yeah, Sean. So here we are. What a surprise, huh?
Yeah, that was a great call, man. They're all great calls.
Yeah. Hey, we have a couple of more minutes here. I just want to give you an update. I'm doing the final like cleaning of the place. We have a small group, I think about 20 people that are supposed to come, maybe not Friday, but Saturday. So this is just an open. I've invited thousands of people, but you know how it is. Everyone's got this, that, and another thing, and it's short notice. But then it's too long. If you try to be like a month ahead, it's too long. I don't know what I'm doing then. Wait, and so these are the challenges of doing these type of events. But like what I was saying with Antenna One, for 24 hours, what I'm doing is directing people to go to the website, internet radio, antenna antena1.com.br, and that is a station that, like I said, it plays all English, and it's actually broadcasted here in Sao Paulo, but also in Rome, Italy, at the Catholic Vatican Church. Okay, so most people don't realize that, but these organizations, when we get into finding out who's responsible, it takes time to investigate that. Then we find out like this. I'm not saying Catholic or not Catholic, but it's very interesting. It's very powerful radio station. 60 years or so here, live in Brazil. They have thousands of partners, like a list that just like doesn't end. And every ministry in government here in Brazil are members of Antenna One. So what we're doing is we're kind of piggybacking, whether they want us to or not. See, FM radio is free. It's for the public. It's not really a community radio station. So what we're doing is we're going to send this signal, and we're going to call it Quantum Antenna One. And so, but I'm not going to create a whole separate website or program. They have wonderful programming. Obviously, they're a successful enterprise. So we can piggyback that. And so when we have downtime, doesn't mean you and I are going to be like doing this 24/7. We might do what we're doing 1 hour, whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? If it's later in the day and I get some crazy person here, maybe I'll call you and say, let's go live. I got the hottest person on earth. But if it's not that way, we're just going to play Antenna One. There's going to be great music. And like with Jesse Howe with Missing Link, when he was on the show, he talked about the High Vibe Love Tribe and about how he did that for 7 months. And he was jumping around his apartment but he wasn't playing like classic music. He was playing like drum bowls, and that's wonderful. But what I'm saying right now, Sean, this radio station, it brings you back. It's memorabilia. And that's what we need to do. When we are introducing new innovative concepts to any person, the fear of change comes over you. So if we revert back to like classic rock and roll and stuff, and songs and music that's going to enlighten our spirit, love songs, and there's some songs with breakups and stuff like that, but that's life. I mean, it's a give and take in a relationship. So that's the message today. That's kind of the gift, is this radio station, antenna1.com.br. It is the #1 music radio station already on the globe, but they're not doing what we do, Sean. Because the quantum antenna, we're going to embed a scalar wave over that radio signal. That scalar wave is unconditional love. So the lyrics and your memory might provoke that, but this signal, you don't have a choice, bro. Everyone's going to, in our community, I'm guaranteeing you this. During this 8 days, I'm going to be on the island most of the time, but I'm going to venture over because I don't have like music acts and everything. I don't need it. We have 15 beaches. There's bars and everything all over. So the idea is not to compete with these people, not to have everyone come into the island. You know, we want people to stay over there. Anyone that comes over here, you have to be deliberate. You got to get in a boat, bro. It's not like walking down the street, walking your dog or something. And it's not very long, so I can see the mainland. You can see it right there for yourself. You know, it's right there. But you can't really swim it. It's very dangerous. Some people, they think, oh, David, I'm going to just go buy a pack of cigarettes because they're out of cigarettes, and I'm going to go swim over there. Dude, they make it about 30 meters and they're exhausted. You know, most people can't swim like a mile and a half or 2 miles, you know, right? So that's the plan, just to let you know, and anyone listening to this, this is the evolution and this is what it takes. So you can do it. Not you, Sean. I'm talking about people listening to this. They can do these things in their own community. If they want to do a hibernation festival, I'm not trademarking that. Do a hibernation festival. If you want to use everything that I'm doing, I feel privileged to do that for anybody. I don't want them. I'm going to make money. I might be the richest person on earth, but you also too might be the richest person, and also Sheena, and also everyone. So if we're all the richest people, guess what? We're normal at that point, because now there's no discrimination. That means that we have the consumption power economically to thrive. But we need to be intelligent. We don't want to abuse the earth and our natural resources anymore. We don't need to. Now we have these energies that are abundant. We're talking about scalar waves. We're talking about the med bed, and with you and me, the B3 scanner, the brain body biofield scanner, 20-second enlightenment, where you don't have a choice. You go in, you're going to come out enlightened, or you're going to come out dead, like I said, because that is the disclosure that anything can happen here. But if we educate people on the technology and encourage them and give them the trust that this actually works, that's the way it works. It's called the biology of belief with Dr. Bruce Lipton. And Bruce Lipton, for people that don't know it, look it up, proved that it's all a placebo. Healthcare is in your head. If you want to be healthy, you will be healthy. If you want to get old, get sick and die and rot with no dignity, dude, you're going to do that as well. I prefer not to do that. I prefer to live happily ever after in eternal salvation, just like Jesus. I might not be sitting next to the right hand of God, because at 0.00 absolute, there is no God, bro. At the gate, God is there with Jesus and everybody to welcome you. But if you think that they're going to carry you through that gate, nobody can do that. You can only do it yourself. And when you're in there, there's no discrimination. So you're not going to see your family and everything like that. When you come out of the gate, they're in the gardens around the library, like right outside. They're looking in your window right now, Sean. They're looking. The Akashic Library is with you. So the entities are encouraging us to come in unity. That's the only way you get through the gate or through the door or whatever. In a library, people think, it's a building, it's got shelves, it's got books or whatever, computers. The gate, the 0.00 absolute, the Akashic Library of Records has everything and nothing. So here we are. We're almost on the hour. I don't mean to be doing lectures, but I am pumped up and I'm working hard. just like anybody that's committed, just like you or anybody else. We are entrepreneurs. We are independent enterprises. If we don't work hard, nobody else is going to work hard. And if we don't look healthy, people are going to like say, this is such bullshit. It's not even spam. You know, we are talking about perfect health, and it exists. And the B3 scanner delivers it in 20 seconds. Okay. So I don't know if you want to wrap it up here, Sean. Another great episode. Go ahead.
Great episode. We got somebody lined up for tomorrow too, and that's going to be exciting. Sheena's really an amazing person. I was really, really happy we had her on today. And like I said, I'm a day or two away. By Monday, maybe sooner, we'll have our website up. That'll be exciting. And then you'll have access to that as well. You sent a message and said, can you upload? Yeah, you'll have a username and password. You can get in there. That'll be your little baby. So we can add unlimited content to that thing, and it's going to be a phenomenal resource.
Yeah, actually, I want to once we get going, and once you start to apply a little bit of like structure. I have a lot of great people. One in particular is in the UK. It's an organization called Quantum Quill, and they do everything with quantum and 5D and very high level cyber and whatever. And this organization, his name is Ken. He can work with you on some of that, because what you're doing with the website is really not ultimately what we want. Because anything with www, forget it. Okay, because they're going to let us go for a certain point, we're going to get followers, and then they're going to stop the www. So that's the whole idea. We have a redundancy plan. We have foolproof. We've thought this out critically. So we're going to start broadcasting maybe as soon as this next month. Okay, but that's where Carl comes in with the RTK antenna, Carl Grotenhorst, who was on a couple of episodes before. You know, there's some technical stuff to actually do that. We have to actually elevate the drone and things like that. And so we're not quite there. So the World Wide Web and other methods of traditional communication we're going to need to do that. But just know that we're going to eventually be like so foolproof. We're not going to worry about any of that censorship or manipulation, Machiavellian bullshit. You know, it's a peer-to-peer blockchain program, decentralized organization. So for people listening to this, the World Impact News, the WIN network, Sean doesn't own it. Nobody does. It's the Akashic Library of Records. Now, Sean is a gatekeeper. So Sean can help you and advise you, and I can, and now Sheena and other people are all going to understand. That's the goal and objective. You got to get through the gateless gate. Getting to the gate is wonderful. If we can get people to just to the zero, not even 0.00 absolute, just zero. You know what I'm saying? If there's a step in a gradual procedure, but it doesn't need to take a lot of time is what I'm saying here. So with you and the work that you're doing, once you establish the foundation, man, you're going to sit back and AI is going to do it all. In your bank account, all you're going to do is look at your bank account growing and growing and growing. It's never going to get negative. Guarantee you. And this is why we're recording this, because, you know, people that may be listening that don't know us, they're going to think that what we're doing is ridiculous. But that's fine, because after we do it, then they're all going to be trying to do it. And guess what? Stand in line at that point. You got to go through the applicativo. You have to register. You got to do the things that you need to do so we can identify you. Like in the app, I have a 5-layer biometric signature. So it's so secure. You decide, and there's no way that information is exchangeable for anybody to kind of impersonate you and to access. And they can't get into the library anyways. Because if you have any evil, even if you believe in God, you could think that you're the most noble and most religious person on earth. Even the Pope. The Pope doesn't go through that gate, bro. And you know what? The Pope doesn't think that. The Pope thinks that, you know, whatever the tradition, whether it's the Catholic or whatever faith, they think that the end all is what they're saying. And what I'm saying, great. I'm not refuting religion, obviously. But what I am saying, you don't get in there if you believe in God, because that is a condition. And so it has to be unconditional. We have to be virgin again. You have to be innocent. You have to be naked. You have to expose yourself. And that's what people don't want to do. And now with the internet, everyone thinks that it's all spam and scam. Just this morning, I don't want to say some bastard, sent me a message, but I make comments, maybe 1,000 comments a day. Serious. I'm up at night and my comments are thought out and provoking comments. I'm spending time. So I made a comment on this one person's post, and the guy responds back and says, you know what? I just reported you for spam and all this other stuff. And I was like, dude, go fuck yourself, because I have free speech. Okay. And I said nothing other than what is total intelligent. And you are a fucking idiot. And so I don't mean to get angry, but at the same time, I'm fighting for my own survival too. I spent $20,000 already in the last month just getting ready to do this festival. How many other people have helped? You're helping. Obviously, it's great that what you're doing. You don't need to do any more. You're already doing. I don't want people to do more. I just want you to do what you're doing. And if we can get you to do what you're doing, and Shayna, and then Cheyenne, and all these, Tom, Dick, and Harry, everyone's coming in, just doing what they do and giving the gifts that they want to give, in the passion. Most people don't want to get rewarded. But the nice thing is, our program, we reward everybody. 1 hour is one time coin. You can get 24 a day. So you can do work and volunteer and then give away that time credit to somebody else that needs it. That's the whole idea. But at least you're not giving it away, wasting your time. I've done it. Everyone volunteers. It's wonderful. It's great to clean the beach and save the whales and do everything. But the reality is, we do need resources, money right now. But this program, what we're talking about, is a holistic package. It includes perfect health, perfect wealth, and the most important thing for me is the perfect expression. Because when we express ourselves, that's when we can be healthy. And that's when we smile. And nobody can kick our ass to the ground. Nobody. And we have that energy, and we look like we're on LSD or something. We look like an alien maybe, because around us, people are fucking ignorant. Most of them. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be sacrificed. That means you go through the B3 scanner in 20 seconds, your ignorance is gone. And if it isn't, we have a money back guarantee. First of all, we don't charge for you to go in it. But anyways, if you want money, tell us. If you're not going to be healed, get out of here. I'll pay you to get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I know I'm swearing and stuff, but I want people to realize this is not like a choir. We're not like altar boys preaching. God has brought me to the gate. Thank God. Okay. And then God said, you're on your own, bro. And guess what? I went through the gate, and now I'm back to help other people to go there, because it's so wonderful. And I don't want to be there, the only person that's in human body being there explaining this. Everyone is there. Everything is there. So it's not like there's any controlling factor. The control is you. And if you have a condition, you ain't going there, bro. One condition. Even if you think about a condition. Okay, so anyways, here we are. I'm gonna let you go. Tomorrow, who's on tomorrow? By the way, do you already know?
Tomorrow, let me tell you who's on tomorrow. We've got the gentleman with the homestead.
Jim Galt.
Yes,
From Jim Gale. Jim Gale from Galt's Landing. Is it Jim? Yes. Oh, great.
Out planting trees in the homestead. So that'll be a great
No, I'm
episode.
Serious. Jim is incredible. All right. Thanks everyone for listening.
Right,
once
man.
again.
Great to see you as always. Take care.
All right.
Same time, same place tomorrow.
Showtime. Ciao.
Showtime.